up, my fitness family? Brent Casmer here with BKPT, Brent Casmer Personal Training, and I want to talk to you a little bit today about habits. So with what I do in my industry, obviously I deal with people having bad habits, trying to create good habits, and obviously with my own disability and my own visual impairments, I have a lot of habits, whether they're good or bad as well. It's the same thing. I'm just very habitual with things that I do, just due to the fact that I need things put back in the same place. I need to, when I do stuff or when I'm in my environment, I'm almost like people would never even know that I have a visual impairment. I'm blind, just because it's like so second nature to me. But I also know where everything is. So it makes me almost feel sighted, even though I am not, just because of how habitual I am with my actions, where things go, the placement of things. And, that's kind of why I want to talk to you guys about habits. So a lot of times when somebody is starting a new regiment and they're starting to do something and they want to make positive changes, there's a number of things that has to go or has to take place. One, obviously everyone comes and they have a goal, but sometimes the goal makes you have to change too many habits in a row and ends up making it difficult, which actually makes the follow through on it, near impossible for the individual. So, a lot of times you want to make these changes, but you need to make it so that it's simple for you. So a lot of times people, for instance, here, let me give you some examples. It's like, you know what? I'm going to start waking up and I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start eating healthy and I'm going to start doing this, But as a whole, you've been, either A, eating poorly, or sometimes people will think they eat healthy. It's just the fact that they don't know, just because it's like good foods doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. Just, it's just being uneducated on it. So a lot of times they'll come in like, oh, I eat healthy. I get it. I understand it. You think that you eat healthy, but you're obviously here for a reason. You're seeking out professional help for a reason. So let's go ahead and go over what you eat and what you think is healthy, and then, go from there. So, so there's a lot. So being closed-minded, coming into something also thinking that you have handles and grasps on certain things when you really don't. You need to come in with a blank slate and say, hey, look, this is what I've been doing. This is what's going on. These are some of my problems. These are some of my faults. What do you think I need to do to get this going? So a lot of times it might start with waking up in the morning, right? So if you know that you're somebody that's going to hit snooze and most likely fall back to sleep, then what are some of the things that you think that you should do? A lot of times you know your own answers. You just have to take action on them, right? So if you say, oh man, like I always hit snooze, roll over, and by the third or fourth time I hit the snooze button, I don't even hear it anymore. So, putting the alarm clock or changing either A, the type of alarm clock you have, putting it in a different room, putting it in the bathroom, putting it somewhere where you can wake up, splash your face with some water, and kind of get the ball rolling so that way you feel like you are kind of in the mode of getting up. Because you, in essence, want to make change happen. The reason you're seeking out how to make positive habits is because you want change. You just need to figure out the best approach to make things as easy as possible so that way, you can do it and sustain it for the duration of your life, right? So it's just kind of making them easy. So having a goal, having something that you're trying to accomplish, and then making the steps along the way easy to do and manageable. All right, so putting the alarm clock, if you're a snoozer, you have to know what your problems are, know what your faults are. If you know that you're not going to be able to go to the gym, or you're not comfortable going to the gym, then start it off with just doing morning walks every morning. Make it something that you can sustain and you can do. So that's what you have to make it attainable. You have to make it attractive and easy for yourself to do. So is that something that you can do? Yes. Then you can step it up, turn it into a run, turn it into something else. But just you're going to have a progression phase with all of these things, right? Getting rid of the junk food, getting rid of certain things that you have cravings for, and you want to nix those cravings, so therefore you need to get rid of those things. So that way you can not have them as accessible as AKA easy for you to grasp, to grab, to eat, to consume, therefore knocking you off of your good positive habits. Because you don't want to go down the spiral effect of the mindset of, oh, well, now I ate all this crap, so why wake up tomorrow and do this all again? Opposed to, hey, you know what? I'm starting to get really good at this whole getting up in the morning thing and getting my walk on and getting this things done. Let me go ahead and add things to it or do things on different days so that way I can get better at other things as well, such as strength training. I know that this is better for me or this can increase my results. So, and understanding that. But you have to make it like, did you see how easy I made that for you? Now you really, at the end of the day, don't have excuses for it. You can't set yourself up for failure and say, hey, after work, I'm going to go ahead and knock out my run because I'm not a morning person. But every day your work schedule can change, can fluctuate. You have kids and all of a sudden you have to go to their sports or pick them up at school because they're sick or do whatever it is, but there's no consistency to it. So if you say, hey, you know what, I'm not a morning person, but I know I can do this during lunch, and lunch is always the same time, it's always this, there's nothing that can get in my way. Because at the end of the day, once you put this in your schedule, wherever you plant it, it needs to be something that you can do every day. Because you're building the habit. You're building something that, a lifestyle change to make yourself better, to make yourself more confident, to make yourself be able to deal with stress and anxiety and all the other things in life that is dealt to you, so that way you have that positive, thing happening. A couple other things I want to talk to you about also is like I just went through about how to make things easy for you. You also, just like I was sharing with you a little bit, is to take some of those bad habits that you have, whether it's like drinking every night, whether it's, sleeping in, staying up too late, whatever it might be, whatever those, you need to make those as unattractive or like make them difficult for you to do. So that way at the end of the day, you want to make it so it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's why, like, if you throw all those things out, and you still like, oh man, I really just want an Oreo. I can't take it anymore. I'm having that craving. And there's people that are around you that know that you are striving and have been doing so good for so long. You need to make it an announcement and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go get an Oreo right now. And you say it out loud. Don't be mad at it if you go do it, but just own it. Say, no, you're not trying to sneak it. You're not trying to you're owning your old bad habit. Because you're like, oh man, I need to go to the store. I need to get an Oreo cookie. I need to speak this out loud so I can hear myself. So, somebody that I had told that I'm doing this for myself now knows that I'm going to go get an Oreo cookie. And, it's not shaming, but it's just it's like confessing it before you even do it. And before you know it, you're like, man, that all of a sudden isn't attractive. Like, you don't like it. Like, you're like, man, that sucks. It sucks to have to say it. It sucks to have to know that I still am going to go eat it. And it's like, now it's becoming something that's not tasteful anymore. And you will start to build it as a negative thing. So therefore, you're not going to want it. It's not going to be as desirable, especially if you have to go somewhere to get it, especially if you have to go do the X, Y, and Z, and it's making it unattractive. If you know that there's certain things that you just don't want to do, like have a drink, same thing. Don't have the alcohol in the house. Don't have the certain things that you like around you. Try to make it distasteful. Try to make it so it's like something that you don't crave, you don't want. There's not, the desire's not there. If you like every day at like 6:00 p.m., you have one drink in your hand, go out, go for a walk then. Open a book, read a book. Change the action. Change, the action, which is going to actually change the outcome. So you're making other things fill that void, So those are things like, it's funny because, people, when they get addicted to something and they go to, and as extreme as like drugs or alcohol or certain things like that, they have to go to a rehab facility, but the likelihood of them actually coming out and staying clean for the rest of their life is a lot, less likely to happen because of the fact that they completely change the environment to become sober, to become, not dependent upon the substance. And now they're like sent back to their normal living conditions where all of these cues, all of these behaviors have happened, and now they're trying to figure out like, dang, like now I gotta, actually learn it all again. So, and they need the support, the help, those things aligned right there because they don't want it to be easily accessible. They don't want all of these things to fall back into place. So therefore, it's the same type of thing, but these are the extremes. So it's the same thing that you have with all the other bad habits that you might have. It's just a matter of like placing emphasis on it and then making them these, certain attributes to them. Like, so making them easy, making them attractive, or making them harder, or making them unattractive. So that way your outcome is exactly what you want it to be. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you guys got some nuggets out of this, because at the end of the day, these are things, these are huge qualities and that people need to achieve, accomplish, and have to have success in whatever aspect it is that they're trying to have success in. So it's about just going ahead and making these things, something positive that you're going to do and sustain forever. Because once you take that habit and create it, then you can add to those habits to make more positive, more positive, more positive. And then the consistency is going to give you the outcome that you want. All right. Brent Casmer here with BKPT, Brent Casmer Personal Training. Hopefully that nugget made some sense to you. Hopefully you can take that home and like literally just put it into play right now. Get it going, get it started. So, you can announce it right here, pop it in the comments, say, hey, you know what? That made a lot of sense. I'm going to make these changes right now. Love it. And yada, yada. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe, because that's obviously shows me that you're enjoying the content. And B, I want to make more content that's going to reach and teach and, have a long-lasting effect on you. All right. So subscribe, mash the notification bell, show me some love, give me some likes, and share this with other people that you feel would be benefit from it, so that way they benefit from it as well. And then they'll also keep you accountable. All right. So I will see you guys in the next episode.